10 deaths at Astrofest held by Travis Scott in Houston, Texas. Should Kyle Rittenhouse be innocent or guilty? Julius Jones off of death row by the governor in Oklahoma. This is your host, Keenan Merritt.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Real World Realistics. I am your host, Keenan Merritt, bringing you all the breaking headlines that are currently happening in our generation of time. Houston rapper Travis Scott is under a lot of heat from the community and his fan base. 2 weeks ago, on November 5th, Travis Scott held his very own festival called Astrofest in Houston, Texas. This is his first festival in 2 years now. Due to COVID, he cannot host any gatherings to perform on stage. All tickets to Astrofest sold out within minutes upon being released online. 50,000 people showed up to Astrofest and was on schedule to be Travis Scott's biggest, most hyped-up concert of his career yet. Unfortunately, that took a turn for the worst. As Travis Scott was performing, many people were suffocating and being stepped on due to such a large crowd, and so many people compacted into one space. During the time Travis Scott was on stage, many injuries and even deaths occurred. Many people in the crowd knew what was happening and shouted out to stop the festival by chanting, "Stop the show." The festival was eventually shut down, but many people were mad he did not stop performing sooner. The rest of the festival was canceled, and 10 deaths ranging from 9 years old to 27 years old have been reported so far, with hundreds of injured. Travis Scott sent out an apology video on social media claiming he's deeply sorry for the loss of lives and their families, and all the chaos that erupted throughout the festival. He also said that all tickets will be refunded and all cost expenses for the funerals of the victims will be paid off. Unfortunately for Travis Scott, over 100 lawsuits have been filed, one being up to $750 million on him and his organization. And for the media, many people believe he is the one to blame, and others believe it is entirely not his fault. An 18-year-old young adult known by Kylo Ren House went to trial earlier this month for the killing of 2 people and injuring 1 with an AR-15 on the streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin back in August of 2020. Many protesters and riots broke out last year because of the racial justice movement. The shootings of Kylo Ren House took place during a riot in Kenosha. However, Kylo Ren House believes he was acting in self-defense from the 3 people he shot. Kylo Ren House claims many individuals were chasing him with intent to harm or possibly even kill him, and camera footage proves that there were people running after him. Kylo Ren House and the charges he faces include first-degree homicide, attempted first-degree homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, and reckless endangerment. All weapon charges were dismissed by the jury during the trial. Kylo Rittenhouse has been found innocent in all 6 charges and can walk away free with no criminal charges. The trial of Kylo Rittenhouse has been all over social media and seen in 2 different types of perspectives. Some people see it as an 18-year-old on the streets that night with an AR-15 causing attention and harm. Others believe he was protecting the community and defending the local stores from the looting of the rioters. Back on July 28, 1999, Paul Howell was sitting in his Suburban on his parents' driveway when he was fatally shot and killed by an unknown suspect at the time. After 3 days of recovering evidence and an investigation, Julius Jones was arrested. In 2002, Julius Jones was convicted for first-degree murder, even though he claimed that he did not commit a crime, nor was a part of the crime that included the death of Paul Howell. For 20 years now, Julius Jones has been placed on death row waiting for his execution date. Last Thursday, he was scheduled to be executed by 4 p.m. He had still claimed ever since being arrested and convicted that he was innocent. Just a couple hours before getting the lethal injection, Oklahoma governor stepped in and declared clemency on Julius Jones to be taken off of death row and not be executed. Many celebrities and social media had stepped in demanding Julius Jones off of death row. Even though Mr. Jones was taken off of death row, he still serves the rest of his life in prison for a crime he claims he had no part of. Thank you for tuning in to Real World Realistics, but before we end the show, I would like to know your thoughts on the 3 topics we covered today. Do you guys believe that Travis Scott is to blame for the deaths of 10 people? Do you believe Kyle Rittenhouse should be innocent, or is he guilty? Do you think Julius Jones was involved with the death of Paul Howell? Please answer the Google form, which is linked in the description. I am your host, Keenan Merritt, and have a great rest of your week.